Welcome, fellow book nerds. I kind of just wanted to talk candidly today about why I left the Harry Potter fandom. I started reading those books when I was 19, and I know I was not the target audience, but I picked them up at this book fair that my university had in their student union, and it was primarily for teachers, but I was walking by and thought, hey, I like books. So I picked out the first three books and then promptly went and bought the fourth one, read through them but all, like just whipped through them, fell in love with them, waited for book five, waited for book six, waited for book seven. But the reason I started becoming so disenfranchised with them at first was because J.K. Rowling kept retconning stuff and changing things, and it'd be like, oh, this happened in book one, and then all of a sudden, 4 books later, she's like, ha ha ha, just kidding. It's not actually like that. The reason this happened is because of this, or this, or this. And she also did a lot of, like, pandering, for example, only making Dumbledore a queer character after several of the movies had been out, and everybody was saying, oh, well, Dumbledore did this and he was in love with this person and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden she was like, no, Dumbledore was gay. Like, after most of the books were out and several of the movies were out, all of a sudden she just decides, anyway, after that, I just, things just kept changing, like the way that Nagini was expressed, the way that there was just all this subtle undertones of the white hero getting whatever they want, and the child just going off and being like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. And the more I examined it and looked at it and saw, like, the abuses that Dumbledore committed and the abuses Snape committed and the way these teachers and Harry's family members were just so awful, and I thought, why? Is that, do you get off on child abuse? And then she started letting the whole world know very bluntly that she was a transphobic, racist piece of crap, And once that happened, I was like, oh, nope, hell no. I'm done. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And she took away all the charm from her own series through her behavior, and then through realizing her behavior and seeing all of the things that were hidden throughout those books that are there if you really pay attention. So, if you are still into Harry Potter, we're probably not going to jive very well. I have one person in my life that I will hang on to no matter what, because she is my sister-in-law. And I know that she doesn't support Joe Rowling any more than I do. Other than that, like, you can move along and read what you're going to read, and I'll read what I'm going to read, and I will just continue to not support J.K. Rowling anymore.